Coming up on the Get Loud podcast. Oh, my Lord. We're all over the place today. But we're not going to talk about this rookie class.
We have to talk about the rookie class.
Expectation for the upcoming season?
Yeah, Bluefoot is going to be in the house today.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, what about Jake Holden? Drake?
How you doing, everyone? It is the Get Loud podcast with Smoot and Jinx, presented by SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. Smoot!
That's how we do it.
That's how we do it.
How was your Cinco de Mayo?
Man, I didn't do anything for Cinco de Mayo.
Not Thai, sir.
Okay.
That was to really bring Cinco de Mayo on. I started off with a Corona and a Modelo.
Good man.
Before I went to something a little bit more manly.
Little margarita action or tequila?
I'm not a margarita guy. You a margarita guy?
No, I hate margaritas.
I
don't hate margaritas. I'm not a tequila person.
I can see you with salt around the rim.
I try every now and then, but you know what it is? You ever have a bad experience with a certain liquor?
Oh, first of all, tequila.
Yeah, that's the one.
06.
Oh, you remember the year?
I remember the year. I remember me waking up that morning saying never again. Mm-hmm. You know, if you make it to that point, if something really ain't good.
Yes.
I said, you know what? Tequila. And you know who fought it was? It was Lil Jon. Because Lil Jon had everybody drinking Patron at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And Patron just, it's nasty. Let's be honest. I can't stand the smell of it anymore. I can't be around it.
That's why I am.
Yeah, like I will not touch thee. All right? I won't. That's a long time. I'm almost going on 20 years. I won't drink a margarita made up. When people celebrating yesterday, I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I have learned. Like, come on. The best lessons in life, Jinx, are learned.
Yes.
They are learned. So I learned tequila doesn't do well with my body. Mm-hmm. I can't bounce back from it. All right? It's just hard on me, man.
I'm the same. And I love Mexican food, man.
Yeah.
I can eat Mexican food all day long. But whenever I go out and it's all tequila-based drinks, I'm not one guy. I'm like, I got to do something different here.
Yeah, when I go on trips to beaches, like tequila.
Yeah.
And rum is always one of the go-tos. And I'm like, nah. I drink beer when it's hot.
Okay.
All right? That would down south teach you. Beer when it's hot.
Okay.
Liquor when it's not.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm telling you now. So at the end of the day, once the sun go down, you start to drink what you really want to drink.
Right.
And I am Kentucky, Tennessee, that clean water, that whiskey, that bourbon. It's something about that right there. Like, I was always told by my granddad and his old drunker friends that sit in the front yard, G. They say, if your liquor doesn't have a first and a last name, thou shalt not drink of thee.
Oh.
Jack Daniels, Basil Hayden, Angel's Envy.
Ooh, Angel's Envy.
Like I'm just saying.
Yeah.
First and last name.
I gotta remember that.
Yeah, you got to, man.
That's pretty good. I feel like you'll celebrate anything.
Anything. Like, I'm looking for, when I get up, I celebrate with breakfast every morning. I smile. And if you give me a reason to what day is it? Cinco de Mayo. Listen, I am out looking for festivities. I am one of those people, I enjoy people, and I enjoy sharing cultures, and I enjoy taking on culture. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, just give me a holiday, and I will show up.
Well, even though I didn't get to go out for Cinco de Mayo, I did catch the Tom Brady roast last night.
It was so good.
It was. I didn't know. I thought they might treat him with kid gloves, and I'm glad they went in.
No, they not going in. First of all, Kevin Hart ain't finna let them treat it with kid gloves.
Right.
And I am falling in love with post-football Bill Belichick.
I couldn't believe he showed up.
No, listen. He's shown more personality in the last 6 months than he has in the last 20 years. You could tell when the stress of a job gets off of you, and now they like, I'm just me. I have nothing. And then to see Brady and him back together. Mm-hmm. I love that, man. I hate to see dynasties break up because of egos. I love it to see Peyton Manning in the house. I love what Eli said. You know, I was going to come to the roast, but I ain't want to roast him for a third time. So I just love everything about it. Alex Guerrero was there. That totally shocked me.
Oh, my God.
And some of the shots they took, even Kevin was like, hey.
Did you see Tom get heated early a little bit when Jeff Ross took a shot at Robert Kraft? And Tom goes up there and goes, don't say that again. And went and sat back down.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I missed that part of it. But he don't play by Kraft.
That's the one guy you don't mess with.
He does not play by Kraft. But I thought they had some shifty jabs in there.
You went after Giselle?
Why not?
I mean, not after her, but after him regarding Giselle, and that was fresh. You could tell he kind of hit him pretty hard.
But there was a couple cringe-worthy spots in there. I thought they attacked Kim Kardashian as much as they did Tom Brady. I was like, who roasted this?
She got booed.
That had to hurt her feelings.
Oh, don't you know it did?
It had to hurt her feelings. But you know what? I hate to say this. You know I'm a matchmaker, right?
Yeah.
I put Kim and Kanye together years ago. I'm sorry for that. I put it in the atmosphere and it happened. I think Kim, K, and Tom Brady could date in the future.
Didn't they mess around for like a hot second?
I don't know. It's something
like
intriguing.
Right after, I feel like they were in the Hamptons with some sort of white party or something went down.
I think I know what you're talking about, but what I'm saying is some people, you can be like, oh, are they together? You don't second guess it.
Right.
It's like, oh, Kim Kardashian, Tom Brady. Sound about right. All right. So at the end of the day, listen, they went at both of them, but I thought she shouldn't be getting attacked. It's not even her roast. But I like roasting. And I had to think, if we did a Washington roast, who would we roast first of all? And I would have to host it. As the keynote roaster.
Yes, you would have to. You would absolutely have to host it.
No, it'll be fun. I think we should do it for charity here in D.C. and just roast the greats. Imagine just D. Green up there and Ovi up there. And
that'd
maybe
be great.
Strasburg.
Nobody wants to get roasted anymore.
Come on, they gotta. If you can't laugh at yourself, you can't laugh at nobody.
That's true.
People can roast me. I don't care. I gave you a lot of material. Like, I don't care. Like, I find it fun and endearing. Like, I tell people all the time, my teammates know, if Smoot don't really joke with you, he probably don't like you.
Yeah,
like,
I can see that.
Yeah, like,
because you joke around with everybody.
I do, because I think, first of all, especially in the locker room, that's the quickest way to break the ice, especially when you got a player that just got traded in here. He don't know too many people on the team. Like, he want a player to kind of bring him into the fold and bring him into the group. Jokes have forever been here. They've been having jesters do this since the 1600s. If Louis XIII could take this, why you can't take it in 2024 where if you scroll up your Instagram or your social media, people roasting you anyway?
God, that's the truth.
So if you can't take a roast now, I can see he getting roasted by pros. Like top comedians and people with inside information.
Jeffrey Ross is the roast master general for a reason. That's what he does.
So I'm just saying, so that's another level. But if we had to do a roast here in Washington, first of all, who are we roasting and who are the roasters?
Who are we going to roast? Bring back old Jim Zorn.
Jim Zorn, one of the people that could just really sit up there and take it all.
He's a very nice guy, though.
That's why I say he could take it all. Like, he could take it all. And I remember after the 3 wins we had with him, and he used to do this hip hip hooray thing, and we used to just be sitting over there. I was like, I refuse to do it.
You're not doing hip hip hooray.
I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man. We don't hip hip hooray. I do that for my kid before we go to church.
Hip hip hooray.
Yeah. By golly. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. We're not doing that. All right? But at the end of the day, personality-wise, he could take it. But I know some people that probably couldn't take it that played here.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about all the sports. We ain't talking about
just DC sports in general.
DC sports in general. Who are the funniest athletes that you think could do the roasting? Who are the athletes that you know could take the roasting?
I'd like to bring Bryce Harper back and just roast him for leaving the Nats.
Everybody wants to roast. Everybody wants to roast Bryce Harper because he went right to Philly. And by golly, I've been a Philadelphia guy my whole life.
No.
Come on, dude. We tried to get you to buy into the DMV.
Right, like, come on.
And he's like, nah, man, what fan was he?
He's from Vegas.
Yeah. And he
like
was
a Golden Knights fan.
Yeah, he was like, I was like, now he everything Philly. Now he all of a sudden a 76er. He all of this stuff. Yes, let's bring Bryce Harper back. Let's roast Bryce Harper. I want to. I'm fine. Let me do it.
Well, we're gonna talk to Shawn Springs here coming up. Here
my guy, Bluefoot.
Yes. And we're gonna talk about the draft with him and the rookies coming in to this franchise. But before we go to Shawn, I wanted to ask you. So, what are your expectations now that these guys are here?
Yeah,
we know the roster essentially what it's going to be going into the fall. So, what is a realistic way to look at how these guys should perform when it comes to the fall?
I have no number on wins.
Okay.
Progression is what I want to see. I'm already seeing momentum progression. I'm seeing front office progression. I'm seeing coaching progression. When I pull over here to the park, I'm seeing things be built I'm seeing owner progression. All I want to see is a young quarterback get better every play. I want to see his supporting cast protect him, defensive, offensively, special teams. I want to see them go out there and compete game in and game out. I want to see them start to move to what we really are and who we are really going to be.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do everything in 1 year. I'm fine with that. But we got the building blocks for a good future. I want to see that future start to happen. And but I'm willing to be patient. I told you, I want that food cooked like grandma used to make it. And she put love in her food.
Yep.
So she might start at 8, 9 in the morning. We ain't getting fed to 5 o'clock.
Right.
That's just what it is. Patience. But I know we live in a microwave society. Hit that thing, 2 minutes. You got your sandwich, a DoorDash, Grubhub. You just instant gratitude. That's where we at right now.
Yeah.
Sports doesn't work like that. This is one time we're going to have to trust the process.
It's like, no, this is different.
Yeah, this is different. And it's going to work. Even if it don't work the first year, it's going to work. At the end of the day, you have to give these guys chance to not only manipulate the roster like they have, but our quarterback needs to get some plays on his belt, some age, some reps. These new guys, we need to see who is going to be a contributor year one. I think Mike Sanderskrill can. I think Sanat can. I think a lot of these guys that we got can come in this thing and actually be ready to play and contribute to a team. So I love it because while I'm watching the Cowboys get old and fall apart, we are the new toys on the toy aisle.
Yeah.
And all eyes can do is get polished. All right? So I think we're in a great spot right now when it comes to what we're doing.
Absolutely agree. We're going to pay some bills and get Shawn Springs here on the show.
All right, pay them.
Let's talk about Honda. Guys, you have to explore the sophisticated, sleek look of the CR-V Hybrid and Accord Hybrid, Honda's most powerful electrifying vehicles yet. Conquer the unpaved road in one of Honda's rugged SUVs and trucks like the Pilot Trail Sport, Honda's most capable SUV ever, or experience the thrilling performance of the fun-to-drive Honda Civic with an available turbocharged engine. Get power, performance, and ruggedness with Honda. Find the Honda perfect for you. See your local Washington area Honda dealer today. And our friends at RTS, Recycle Track Systems, transforming the way commercial businesses and communities manage waste and recycling. They combine the power of AI with premium customer service to optimize waste pickup schedules, ensuring timely and efficient collections to keep our neighborhoods cleaner and
greener.
Visit RTS.com to learn more about how they can help manage waste more responsibly. You know, I like to bring in the special guests on the show.
Yeah.
Old friend of the program, and he's got a good-looking beard.
Hey, first of all, I want to say this, the best sidekick a man could ever ask for. I'm Batman, he's Robin. But you know what? It ain't no him without me. That's just the way it goes. So we introducing Shawn Springs. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming again, my friend. How you been?
Hey, man, it's always good, being on the show with you guys, man. Jinx, I see you up there looking like Matthew McConaughey. Shout out to my boy.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying, brother. You're looking good. We love having you on the show. Doesn't matter if it's in person, if it's on video, whatever it is. So we've talked a lot about the draft. I just wanted to get your initial thoughts on this entire draft class because everyone we talk to says, man, these guys did their research and pulled off a fantastic group of players.
Unbelievable. I think, Adam Peters, there was some question like who was going to be the GM. He has already made his mark on the organization. And, I think the players they got was just outstanding. It's actually too good to be true, man. It just feels like we made our team better through the draft, through the first draft that this organization has had. And when you think about Jayden Daniels, always a question with quarterback, right? Is he going to be Bryce Young or is he going to be C.J. Stroud? Yeah. But I think pairing up Jayden Daniels with Cliff Kingsbury, the man who's just a quarterback whisperer, I think he's just destined to have a great year. It's probably starting this year with the weapons, with Terry and the guys around him. And then when you think about, last year we had Payne and those guys, but shoring it up in the middle with Big Newton, adding 2 defensive players.
Yeah.
Instant. And, Big Newton inside, tough physical player in the Big Ten, played well in all the big games. And then I think Sandstrill was the best player in the draft for us. Pound for pound, the best player in the draft for his size. I really believe if this kid was 6 foot, he would be first overall pick, man. I mean, that's, I had a privilege to watch him against Kick Ohio State, but 3 years in a row. So this kid was the X factor and the difference maker. And the sleeper of the draft at the Hunter spot, I think, is, I had a chance to cover his dad for many years, McCaffrey. His brother is out in San Fran killing, but I think McCaffrey he was one of those kids, like, you go out there smooth. We were one of those guys you don't really want to cover because you end up, you have about secretly like 6 or 7 catches on you for about 80 yards.
Yeah.
And you don't even know what he did to you.
Yeah. And he's a guy that's played running back, and he's a guy that played wide receiver. He's a guy that played quarterback. He's a guy that returns. We already talked about his pedigree. I think one guy you forgetting, the other second-round pick we had, Ben Sinnott or Ben Sinnott, however they want to say his name. But you need to think huge check mixed with George Kittle. So every time I look at these guys, what they did was, I think 6 of these guys that we drafted are captains on their team, so they want to go get leaders. Second of all, most of these guys did not come to school as 5 stars. They came in as 2 stars. Ben Sinnott was a walk-on. So these guys earned everything they got. And nobody's talking about Johnson, the safety from Washington. He's 6'3", 230 pounds. Think of how they played Curse in Dallas last year. He will be that guy that can get in the box and that guy can still hit the middle of the field. So I thought what they did was foundational guys. Now I know what Commander players look like in the future. I know what they're trying to get. They're not going out there getting the best athletes. They're going out there getting the best athlete that fits the culture of the Commanders.
And I think you got to go back to the term you use, saying football players. Those guys are proven in the college that they can play some football.
Yeah.
Shawn, so I didn't ask specifically about Jayden Daniels, and everyone has an opinion on the franchise quarterback now, but watching the tape, what do you see?
I see a guy that, because of his athleticism and the way he can break off the long, exciting runs, people are going to instantly think Lamar Jackson. But I see a guy who can make all the progressions go through his first, second, and third progression. I see a guy who clearly looks like he has command of his offense, even at the college level. And people may say, well, he has some great receivers, 2 first-round receivers. But the way he could throw the ball down the field, but there's also the way he played in big moments. If you go back and look at some of the games, I mean, when they needed, he would break off a run against Alabama, right? So I like to see quarterbacks who make plays in big moments when the pressure's on. It's easy to go out there and be LSU and you beat up on Mississippi State or somebody like that.
What?
But when
what?
you make
Hold up now.
when you make plays against good teams, hey man, that's how I define a quarterback.
Shawn, when you look at this season, because we just said we've been winning all season, and we've won all season before, but I don't think we ever won it like this where free agency, we made some moves, bringing in Lou Vu, Chen, a lot of these guys, a lot of veterans that were still a lot to prove. Now we went through the draft. Now you're starting to see the team kind of get put together. Dan Quinn is leading the overall team, and Kingsbury with the offense, and Witt with the defense. What's a good line of wins for this season? Like, what do you say? All right, that's good. That's a great start to a season.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure considering that the NFC East still has Philly and Dallas, who both had pretty good teams last year. I would say getting 9 wins this year would be a great season for this organization, and with a rookie quarterback. So you and I both know we can talk great about Jayden, but we just don't know
what's going to happen.
Going to translate. Yeah, what's going to happen? Yeah. So, but if Jayden is the Jayden that if he's a Jayden and come in like C.J. Stroud, it wouldn't be surprising if they had very similar season that you saw with the Houston Texans last year.
And do you think we have the surrounding cast to do it? Because they did bring in Tank Dell and a couple more people to help C.J. Stroud out. We have Terry McLaurin. We have Dawson on one side. We have Zach Ertz. We have dual running backs back there. And everybody wants to talk, all right, what about the offensive line? I thought the kid from Kansas State, if you look at his athletic measurables, TCU, if you look at his athletic measurables, I'm not saying he going to be this player, but 40-yard dash, weightlifting, how he moved. He only gave up 3 sacks in 3 years. He has Trent Williams' makeup. Do you think we have enough around him to even help the quarterback succeed in his first year? Because it takes a lot.
Well, and I think the biggest thing when you mentioned all offensive players, but the biggest help to a rookie quarterback is a great defense. And you look at Joe Witt, and I think a move that a lot of people may question or may not really understand is Bobby Wagner coming over from Seattle. Now, Bobby was with Coach Quinn in Seattle, and for the first time, and we talked about this several times on the show, fellas, about the importance of communication on defense. Yeah. And I think Bobby getting those guys lined up. We know Coach Quinn's offense, defense, whether it was in Seattle or whether what he did in Dallas and level of production they had getting the ball. Those guys are going to be relentless. They're going to be violent. They're going to run to the ball. They're going to get the ball. So when you have a quarterback that knows on the other side of the fence, there's a defense that can keep him in the game. He doesn't have to win and put the game on his team on his back. He can win the game. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball, take the shots when needed. I think that's going to be the biggest decider for how well this young quarterback does.
Shawn, what's the hardest part when you have all these expectations coming in as a rookie or a high draft pick? What's the hardest part of the adjustment? And it's even worse if you're a quarterback.
The hardest part, a lot of time is, the hardest part is just managing the personal life, right? There's a lot of expectation for a quarterback in an organization as far as obligations outside of just playing football. You're the CEO. You also you're the hot draft pick in a city called Washington, D.C. So, you could easily find yourself hanging out at the Ritz-Carlton, something like that in the city.
You got to beware that 12th man.
The 12th man, you got to be focused, and I think you have to be focused. And the biggest difference, playing in New York, playing in Dallas, playing in Washington, playing in the East Coast cities, you're kind of in a bubble. Even when he was at Arizona State, or even when he was down in Louisiana, you're in a bubble. Smooth to tell you, going on the road, you get talked about bad. Soon you touch the metal. soon you touch New York. Soon you touch Philly, they're gonna talk about you bad. Man. So you gotta look. Playing in the NFC East is a lot of pressure when it comes to how the media attention is on the NFC East. It's like what we believe is like no other.
I got to ask you now, because I know you've been seeing Darryl Green actually tick up his Instagram, and I know you've seen him backpedaling at 64. Now, we talked about them little choppy steps he was giving, but to do that at 64, Blue, come on, man. I always say this about Darryl, because I remember when I first made it here and I had Champ and Dion in there, and they was like, you know what? You can kind of learn something from all of us, but if you think you finna D-Green the way D-Greens, you can't do what he does. All right, so he's the one the Lord chose. You had to understand. Gave him all that speed and gave him agelessness. To see him on Instagram backpedaling at 64, what did you think when you saw it?
I thought the boy was Moses.
Let my people go.
Let him go, man. Hey, that boy was out there parting the Red Sea with them stuff.
You know what? Go ahead.
I was just about to say, but the kudos to Darryl, man, because you don't play that long in the NFL, regardless of being 60. It's one thing to be 64, but that man got a lot of games. That man got a lot of games and a lot of wearing cleats on his feet. Like for his body to still be able to want to put I can barely plant with flip flops on. I can
barely walk down the steps,
man. Yeah.
That's what I was finna say. Just to see him, his kids, his grandkids, and see Coach Quinn and Adam Peters all put on 28, whipping him back. It's long time overdue. I was so shocked that his 28 wasn't already retired, but we ain't gonna talk about the past. But just to see that number get retired, I can't wait to see that happen. I thought it should have happened like 100 years ago, but 28 is forever immortalized in this franchise. And like you said, I'm happy to see him back.
Yeah.
So we got the schedule release coming up at some point here, Shawn.
Yep.
And some people get really hyped about it. Some people say, hey, it's just a schedule. But when you were playing, was there a time when maybe you had a bad game, something happened, you're like, I need to know when I catch these cats again because I have a point to prove?
Oh, yeah, we look at that schedule.
Yeah.
We look at that schedule.
Yeah, we have a scheduled party. Me and Smoot might have been we might have been at his house in Great Falls looking at the schedule, talking about, we looked at it for different reasons because we needed to know the cities we were going to hit and how we prepared to dress for it.
But you have to prepare.
You have to prepare, We need to know if we're going to hit Minnesota or Seattle, what we're going to be doing. Now, the big thing, man, like when you look at a schedule like that, and I don't know if Smoot feel this way, but I knew that it was like, man, I really don't want to play the Giants late in the year.
Yeah.
Right? In New York. You know, you look at the schedule. You look at the schedule because you're like, you know, okay, well, we got a pretty decent schedule, man. We go to Tampa late in the year. We go, you know, because there's times where your body is feeling a certain way, and you know, like we went out to Arizona one year, and it was like right after a bye, or you know, and it felt good, and then, but also you also know, like if you got your conference, you know, last 3 games of the season, you're like, man, it's gonna be physical. Or you need to know if you got the Ravens at some point in that season. You need to know because that's going to be a physical part of the season. So we would talk about all those different things, look at our lineups, our matchups and stuff, and Smoot would tell you because you know one of the things we pride ourselves on was like Smoot would come, he tried, like he said, give you a goal. He'll say, hey, man, we're going to blank them boys. They come in here, number 1 offense week 1, we're going to shut them out. So we just set goals off that and anticipation. You know, me and I for some reason, Jink, Sunday night, Monday night brought the best out of the
I was about to say he's not looking for what other people looking for. Only thing Bluefoot is he's checking off when are the games that everybody gonna see.
Big prime time.
The big prime time. If it ain't prime time, you ain't getting prime time Blue. Like you need to understand this. He would look at a game and be like, oh, we got Arizona at 1 o'clock. But that's not for me. That's not for me. So listen, I understand that we went to some battles, and he brought up Philly. I remember the fullback Richie cheap shot at my guy in Philly, left my boy Blue on the field knocked out. And you know Philly's a rough place.
Oh yeah.
I tried to fight everybody on the sideline. They just took my boy out. It's on right now. I'm on the field crying. It was on. It was like a very emotional game, and that's how I tell you, like. We play more for each other in the city than we do for anything.
Yeah.
And when you take out one of our soldiers, I hate to say it, we're going to try to take out one of yours. That's just the way life goes.
So happens, man.
Yeah, that's part of it. So was there ever a team, and both of you guys can answer this, that you just didn't want to see? A team that you're like, man, I hate playing these guys for whatever reason.
We hated the Giants.
Yeah. Oh! Giants, yeah.
Because they were giant. They was huge. They was huge. And then Michael Strahan sitting over there on the sideline. Imagine looking 50 yards across the field, and all you see is this gap laughing at you because he's getting out there our quarterback. Him, Justin Tuck, O.C. Umenyor, Antonio Pierce, they getting out there our quarterback. Then when we get on offense, Plexico Burris over here on my side, 6'6". Jackman Shockley, 6'6". Eli, 6'5". Brandon Jacobs, 6'4", 300 pounds running back. Money Tuma is the smallest guy in the money is 6'3.5". Hey, we sat in the huddle one day and I was like, Blue, is it me? Are these guys really giant? And I was like, man, somebody finna get hurt. All right? I told somebody finna get hurt, and a couple people did.
You called it. Yep. Wasn't it Brandon Jacobs? Like, didn't he run over LeBron?
And me.
And you?
Oh, listen. He ran over me so bad the first couple of plays. I sold my soul to the football gods and sacrificed LeBron on the next 2 plays. I had took enough. Like I told him, I'm turning him in. Now, who am I turning him into? I don't know. But Blue was at that game. He seen it all. He laughed during the game. That's how crooked he is.
Yeah, I laughed. But no, for me, it was Cleveland. And I'm going to tell you, man, in the scouting report, Big Lou set us up. Lou set us up that week in the scouting report. We go up to Cleveland. So we're playing Cleveland. And they said, well, fullback is soft, and the line is not very physical. Man, we ran out of Cleveland. We barely got out of Cleveland like a 12-1. I hated playing Cleveland. They were physical and sorry at the same time.
Hey, and when he's saying Lou is ready. The ESPN guy, Lou was here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lou was our guy. So Lou used to come out and give us, like, while we practicing, we gonna ask Lou, like, what you seeing out? Because Lou scouted.
Yeah.
And Lou be like, yeah, man, they soft they can get. We go right out there and they running power ball at us. They don't look soft to me, Blue. I don't know who you report, but they don't look soft to me.
Shawn, I gotta ask you.
Never listen to Lou's scouting report.
I did not know. I mean, I knew a little bit about this, but actually, some of the work you're doing is on display at the Sports Invention Exhibition. So you got to tell us about this.
Yeah, man, that's pretty cool. Most people know I started a company when I retired called Winpact, and we had impact protection. And man, and then over the last 5 years, I started working with the Smithsonian. I was one of the featured inventors, so the Smithsonian of American History. The exhibition is called Change Your Game, which is a bilingual interactive exhibition, where you can go and learn. I'm one of the four featured, learn about sports and technology. I'm one of the four featured inventors. Person who found the Gatorade, there's a woman who created the sports bra, the man who created the blade, and myself for impact protection. And there's a lot of great technologies in there, from instant replay to is it fairness, so it's a really cool exhibition. If you want to take your girl on a nice date, your family on a nice trip to the museum, the Smithsonian of American History, you should go check it out. 7 years it's going to be in there.
I am going to go because I'm a museum buff, but if they have a picture of you, I am going to draw a mustache on your face. Now, I'm not going to leave out of there without tarnishing something that you done did to it. And I got to give you a round of applause. I got to give you a round of applause because,
man. Don't go to jail, man.
Because Ohio State, is a state school, so nobody give y'all a higher learning institution. And the things that you are doing to put them on the map educationally, kudos to you, brother. I got to show you some love.
Thank you, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
That's that guy, Shawn Springs. You will see him again on the program here. We love him, know him forever. Shawn, thanks for being with us, man.
His name is Bluefoot.
Right, sounds good.
We're gonna keep it 100. His name is Bluefoot. Thank you, brother. I want to thank my homeboy Shawn Springs, a.k.a. the Bluefoot of DC, for coming in. It's always fun when I chat it up with my guy. You know how it is. But let's pay some bills. The Get Loud podcast is brought to you by Bet365, the official sporting bet partner of the Washington Commanders. Bet on a range of NFL markets with Bet365 app. Craft your own personalized bet slip and parlays. Access thousands with live streaming. Place your bet before the match or during the game. It's up to you. Download Bet365 app today and join 80 million, yes, I said it, 80 million members worldwide. Age 21 plus only, must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. And MWAA. We don't travel to escape life. We travel so life don't escape us. We dream of any place in the world, and in the blink of an eye, we're there. Right? That's the wonder of flight. All you have to do is decide where to. Dulles International Airport. Let your imagination soar. Book your adventure today at flydulles.com/none-stop.
We're going back to back to back to back.
Back to bike. All right. Hey, listen, we got a rap battle going on. Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, my God.
Listen, I don't know. It done took over the world. Like, are you team Drake or you team Kendrick? Because you got to draw a line. You got to draw a line and
Kendrick's
say.
my guy.
You a Kendrick guy?
Yeah.
I really do. I'm a Canadian at heart, I think. I really want to go with Drake.
Yeah.
I really do. But Kendrick is just sticking him and poking him, man. This could be the top rap battle of all time. Because usually people just drop one track against each other.
Then they let it go.
It's over with. Yeah. It's Tupac, hit him up. That's it.
That was the one.
And then that's it. A Nas with Ether. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I got nothing else to say. Mic drop. These guys is you drop one, I drop one. You drop
Back
one,
and
it's getting messy. You know who the smart person in this is? J. Cole.
J. Cole is like, you know what? I shouldn't have done this. I'm out. My bad.
I'm sorry. J. Cole said, you know what, Kendrick? Don't want none of that. I'm sorry, Drake. I'm sorry. I'm going to let y'all have this. The winner is J. Cole.
That's you called it, man.
A man of peace.
He stepped out quick.
Smart.
Smart, yes.
Smart. I'm not getting in that tomfoolery.
No.
No.
I wonder if J. Cole drives a Honda. He should. He's got to explore the sophisticated look of the CR-V Hybrid and Accord Hybrid, Honda's most powerful and electrifying vehicles. Yet conquer the unpaved road in one of Honda's rugged SUVs and trucks like the Pilot Trail Sport, Honda's most capable SUV ever, or experience the thrilling performance of the fun-to-drive Honda Civic with an available turbocharged engine. Get power, performance, and ruggedness with Honda. Find the Honda perfect for you. See your local Washington area Honda dealer today. And our guys at SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. The deal is finalized. They are the newest member of the Commanders family. If you haven't heard the name yet, get used to it. You see it on the show. And if you're buying or selling tickets to Commanders games, a Drake concert, a Kendrick concert, any live event in the DMV, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders.
Have you ever had this? I know you have, because we all have. You're sitting at a light listening to J. Cole, waiting on the light to turn green. A dude pulls up on you in a Honda with a kid on it and a muffler. He looks at you slowly.
Where are you driving?
I'm just telling you. Everybody had this. Everybody had this. Because these dudes take over the road.
Okay.
These Fast and Furious guys.
Oh, yeah.
And he revs the Honda up. He looks at you. What we gonna do? So now I got to make a decision. I did not pull to this light to turn to a racer. But I just been called out. What do you do, Jinx?
Me?
Because I got a plan that I do all the time.
Oh, I haven't had a car in 20 years. You know that?
What, you rode a horse to work today? What?
I have to take an Uber.
You just don't like driving.
Well, I just say I live right in D.C.
Yeah.
I got hard, so I can take an Uber. I take Metro and say to myself, because you're talking about, if you're out here, I get it. But no car, then you got insurance, you got gas, you got repairs.
Everything.
Yeah.
See, do what I do. When they pull up to me, they run. I say, okay. I put mine in neutral. I show them what I got. So now we waiting. I show them that I got more torque than him.
Okay.
Because I hit that thing. It started shaking a little bit. And they like, all right. And then the light turned green. And they just jet it. I don't move. I just cruise out of there. I just listen. Hey, me and J. Cole. I told you I'm not in here to war. Listen. I showed you what I got, but now I'm gonna obey the law.
But now I'm gonna obey
I
the
just
law.
watch you shoot out there, and for some reason I never see these guys get pulled over.
Yeah, that's true.
I never see these guys get pulled over, even when I'm riding through the city. These four-wheelers guys and these scooter guys, the electric scooters run the streets now in the city.
Oh my God.
Oh, they run lights. They do everything. They take over, pop a wheelie in front of them. Daddy, what's going on? Neanderthals. Right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the green electric scooters have taken over the streets in D.C.
Oh, don't get me started on those, man. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
So I want to ask you about the O-line. A lot of people have, you touched on this with Shawn.
Yeah.
But we've heard from a lot of fans who say, look, we've got a lot of these great pieces in place. There is some talent on that offensive line.
Yeah.
But how worried are you, or how do we do a better job of protecting our investment in Jayden Daniels?
I would tell them, first of all, we're finna go through the third round of free agency. Once you get the draft in, then it's going to be surprise veterans cut off each team.
Yeah.
All right. So whatever you need right there, veterans are plug and play guys. They are not teaching. They are plug and play guys. All right. So think about it. Taylor Biotish at center, solidified.
Yep.
All right. I think so far Nick Allegretti might be solidified at the tackle.
Yeah.
All right. If not, Chris Paul. All right. I think Chris Paul played some good ball last year. All right. And don't forget, Sam Cosmi is a Pro Bowler. All right?
He sure is.
So you're not that far off. Now, we brought in a tackle. We drafted a tackle. I told you about his athletic prowess. I told you what type of guy he is. I told you 1,500 snaps, 3 sacks. Oh, wasn't this sexy pick? And I can tell you this too, fan base. All the offensive line taken in the first round will not be guaranteed starters. They're going to be bust. All right? It's bust all up and down this draft. Like, that's the only thing you try to run from in the draft is I don't want to be combustible. I don't want to draft a lot of guys that's going to bust. So they need to have my athletic background. And sometimes it does good to draft players in certain rounds because now they are hungrier. All right?
Yeah.
They understand that they're not getting anything handed to them. And that's what this roster is. And also remember this, Cliff Kingsbury does a good job of moving the quarterback on waggles, on rollouts, moving the pocket, getting the ball out quick, throwing it to big windows. He won't just be sitting back there and it be a 7-step drop and him just taking it's not that.
I was going to ask you about that. How much can an offensive system and a coordinator help your O-line?
No, it does help your O-line because if you're more of a 3-step, quick pass team or you're more of a play-action team, it gives you these extra seconds to do things. Like you can manufacture as an offensive coordinator, you can manufacture time. If you know you're going against one of those great defensive lines, like I told you we had to do with Strahan and what we did in those games, where we moved the pocket. Move the pocket, that's 1 Mississippi, that's 2 Mississippi, that's 3. Wide receiver like Santana Moss can get down the field. He runs a 4.240, 4.1. He can get down the field in that time. So There's ways to get that done, but please understand when I say this. We're not going to fix this team in one offseason.
Correct.
We're just not, as bad as we want to do it and have that new shiny thing up there. These rookies, I was a rookie. It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. Some of us going to hit the ground running like I did. Toot my own horn. Some of them not going to hit the ground running like Antonio Pierce, who needs a little time. But once he becomes a starter, he becomes a Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
All right, so at the end of the day, time is our best thing we got going for us right now.
And that's just the nature of the beast. There will always be an exception to the rule. Like, everyone's going to point to the Texans and say, look at this.
That ain't never happened before.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, that ain't never been happened before. Just because it's happened now, and they did a good job of insulating C.J. Stroud. They did a good job of getting him weapons. They did a good job of drafting the number 3 pick, Will Anderson. All right, so they had some things there that people didn't give them a chance to really show. Then they had some things go their way. Trevor Lawrence injured, limping through the seat. Like, Anthony Richardson goes down. Like, they're going to be a different division this year. Like, the Colts had a great draft, and I think people forget Anthony Richardson because everybody high on C.J. Stroud. Every year, it's a different year. And the sophomore slump is real. All right? It's very much real. That's why I like how C.J. Stroud has handled his offseason. You haven't seen him all over the place celebrating his success.
Doing nothing.
You haven't seen that. So at the end of the day, I think patience is the key here.
Before we go, you need to get something off your chest.
Yeah.
And it's things that you are tired of paying for.
Humans that live on Earth. Why do I have to pull my car up that I already paid insurance, put gas in, and paid for the car, and my tire's low? I got to pay for something that's already free all the way around me. Air. Air, humans. We pay for air. Free. You see that? Free. Free. The Lord put it here for us.
That's a racket.
Oh, how did we get to the point where somebody was like, you know what, we should pay for air? Like, who was there? Couldn't be my boy Ben Franklin. Like, couldn't have been the right people. Like, air? No, we're going to charge them for air. Like, bags at the grocery store. 5 cents.
5 cents, man. You want a bag? 2 bags?
Now I got to make decisions at the counter. Now I got to be like, do I want a bag? Do I need a bag? Yeah, you got like 30 items. I don't know. They 5 cents a piece. You just spent $200, dude. Like, a bag. If I got a second thing, and they ask that with a smirk on their face. You want a bag? Nah, I see people not carrying stuff out to sell me. Yeah. Just all kinds of stuff. Right. People walking out the grocery store look like they stealing. Right. Because they refuse to get bags. All right? Water. It falls from the sky. It did yesterday. It rained. Why can't I just collect this water and clean it? Why do I have to pay for it?
You probably could.
I'm just saying, like, nature gives us these things. And we have found a way to monetize them. If you want running water in your house, not the one that falls out of the sky, don't you dare collect that water. Don't you let us collect it. And let us then resell it to you. I cannot take it. At one point, I'm going to have a march for free water.
A march for water?
A march for free water. All right? Insurance. Now, I know we need it when we need it.
But when you buy it, that's when you never have to use it.
Think about this. I know people that bought a car, 2 cars, 10 years ago, ain't got as much as a speeding ticket or a parking ticket. And they have been paying hundreds of dollars for insurance. I've been in my house years. I haven't needed insurance not one time. I paid thousands of dollars of insurance.
You know, if you canceled it tomorrow, something would happen. You get rear-ended or something.
If I cancel tomorrow, most definitely, a bus will run me off the road.
Yes.
Like, that's what happens. I'm just saying, am I the only one feel robbed? Like, and then your insurance, when you do need them, that one time.
Yep.
They be like, you know what? We're going to move this premium up on you.
Oh, it's the worst.
What about the last 9 years of Good Samaritan? Are you not? I didn't know. Insurance. Scam. All right? I'm just saying, these are the things I think human beings should not pay for, and I can't be the only person that feels a certain way. Like, I was on my knee the other day, filling my tire up with just a grin on my face of disparity. I should have a machine that just takes it out the air and puts it in
That's
here.
what you need.
Yeah, just an air cylinder. Just not a machine, just air. Like, I felt, and we got to do a segment about this because this ain't the only thing I feel like this. Like, I feel like this a lot.
Okay.
And maybe I shouldn't feel like that. My kids just say I'm cheap. Daddy, you're the cheapest man in the world.
They're like, Dad, pay the nickel for the bag.
Hey, first of all, if you grew up in our time,
Yes.
when drinks were 50 cents, and now I walk in the store and a soda, a 20-ounce soda, it's $2.99.
It's ridiculous. That's it for the Get Loud podcast. Presented by SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. We're going to have a whole episode where you just get stuff off your chest.
We just give a free episode away. We fine.
Free.